There we go. I was sleeping at the switch. I didn't see it hit the 1 o'clock bell. How you doing, Michael? Detroit Prepper. How you doing? Good to see you too, my friend. Prep for it. Just popped in the door. Good to see y'all. You guys having good weather where you're at? I hope it's kind of a chilly day here. You guys having good weather where you're at? I hope it's kind of a chilly day here. You guys that down so you guys can't hear me twice. Wait for some people to come in. We'll get started. Kind of wait for Uncle Al. He's going to be in this with me for today. Hey, while we're waiting around, let me show you. I got these here stickers made. I don't know if you guys can see those very well, but it has around the side of it, it says JITP preparedness info on them. And that's my new sticker that I've got up. So if you guys want one, I have a few of them, quite a few of them. If you guys want one of them, slip a self-addressed envelope, put a stamp on it, address it to yourself, slip it in the mail to me, and I'll send one to you. I don't see them sitting here, but I have some magnets that look like the dark green with the water tap and the food and stuff on it. It's kind of a different color and stuff. I have some of those too. You can have one or the other. Let me see if I can change that logo to the other one. See if you guys, that way you guys can see. Let me see. I don't want to mess myself up here. There it is. See the one up there in the upper right corner there? Those are the ones I have that are magnets. So I'd be glad to send one or the other off to you. All you have to do is send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I would get it in the mail to you. 41 in California, that's kind of cold, isn't it? For that part of the world. Chilly but clear, prep for it. It's probably cold in Detroit. I hear you, Detroit. How's everything going for y'all? Everybody having a good life so far this year? So far, so good for me. Kind of iffy, but pretty much okay. At least I didn't get attacked or anything. "21 Fahrenheit. Oh, yeah. I think I'm about, let me see. We're 36 here today. That's not too bad, I guess. $30 so far, 30 days. 41 in Oklahoma. Yeah, you're my neighbor, Michael, if you remember. I'm just over here in eastern Nebraska, sort of northeastern, actually. I'm close to both Wyoming and South Dakota. If I jet out of town north, I'll hit South Dakota. And if I jet out of here west, I'll hit Wyoming. And I'll be in Wyoming like in a matter of a couple of minutes. Everybody getting their winter food stocked up, I hope. Kind of wondered where Uncle Al is. He's usually the first one here. He's supposed to be up here with me. One of my eyes are kind of giving me problems. My left eye. I went to wipe some of the goop out of it, and my finger's stuck in there. So it's kind of hard for me to see out of it. Time's going fast for you, Michael. It's not going too bad for me either. What do you guys think about this crud about them thinking that we're going to have to wear 2 masks when we go outside? I think I just buy a N95. Those things have got about 4 or 5 layers on them. You guys still out there? Can you guys still hear me? Remember, try to hit that like button. I know there's only 6 of y'all in here, but make sure you hit that like button for me. Get this bigger so I can see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I agree with you there, Prep Port. You know, even if, just my opinion, of course, even if you're against masks, you know, you should wear them just to protect your family and your, uh, basically your family, but your neighbors around you as well. Yeah, it can't hurt, you know. They're not gonna make you a zombie or anything if you wear one. Thing is, I'd rather wear one and keep myself and my family safe, you know, regardless of what anyone else thinks, you know. Of course, I've never been one to let other people tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. You know, I pretty much sit down and figure it out for myself. And myself tells me that wearing that mask is not going to hurt me at all. You know, it's not going to make me be for one side or the other. It's going to make me, in my opinion, make me safe. Hey, look there. We got us a stream now. Old man just popped in. How you doing, old man? Good to see you. Oh yeah, I've been looking at those things. Those things would be kind of cool. They're not really that expensive either. I mean, they've been advertising them here in the commercials, you know. and they are not really that expensive. That's about it here. Prep for it. If I have to go to my doctor's or something, I'll wear one if I go to the store. But around the house, I don't really wear them or anything. And that's what they're getting at. If you're going to go out in the public, like you're saying, to the store, wear your mask. What the heck? And stay away from those guys. Those guys that don't wear a mask, they are the ones that are going to regret it in the end, I believe. I heard this morning that they detected their first case of that really bad stuff coming over from uh, Bolivia, I believe they said. Vanessa, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How's the weather there in Bremerton, old man? It's probably kind of wet, chilly there. Uh, Hold on a second. I'm trying to sync all my stuff here so I know exactly what you guys are saying. Lisa Lee, I see you sneaking in here. How you doing? Yeah, it's great to see you too. There we go. Kind of hard. Okay, for you guys just jumping in here, I was telling these other guys. Hold on a second. My left eye's giving me a little problem because I messed up and poked my finger in there, and I just got my eyes done cataract surgery on them. So poking your finger in your eye after cataract surgery, not a real smart thing to do. But of course, if you guys want one of my new stickers for my new channel name, all you guys have to do is stick a self-addressed stamped envelope in a envelope with my address on it, which is in my about section, and slip it over here to me, and I'll send one out to you. I've got a buttload of them. So if you guys want one of them, send one over, and I will get it off to you. That's about the easiest way I can say to get it back there to you, because you know your address much better than I do. So how you been, Lisa? It's really good to see you. Iron Fire Horse. Hey, there you go. Now we're starting to get a stream going here, guys. We got Iron Fire Horse in here. Oh, die bullfrog, he finally drug in. How you doing, Uncle? I'll get you fixed up. Hold on. Uh, try to get this done. Oh, he's already here. Wave a little harder. I can see you. There you go.
Sorry, Will. I was on another live stream discussing the same thing.
That's okay. I can do it by myself.
A lot of people had a lot of questions on the food buckets that you buy.
Yeah.
I keep telling people it was really hard. That's why I was so late. Sorry about this, folks. Hi, everybody. Okay. Now, what you think you're getting in a food bucket, this is a dinner plate, right?
Yep.
Okay. A lot of people don't understand about serving size. Okay. Serving size, I'm holding a measuring cup, In reality, you'll either get that much food or this much food. That's
Probably that other one, the smaller one.
right. Well, this is the smaller one. That's some buckets is extra small.
That's what I meant, extra small.
Right. So you can tell the difference. Your commercial made and homemade bucket. Which would you like to spend $60 on? I go with a homemade bucket. Do it yourself, folks. Save some money on dried foods because big trouble with dry foods. A lot of people think, well, I'll just buy a bucket and stick in the closet, and they never open the bucket to see what's in the bucket.
Yeah, they're just taking their word for it, the company.
Right.
And some of those companies really rip you off.
Oh yeah, like that one company that loaded up with dog biscuits, saying it's survival biscuits. It still had milk bone printed on the biscuit. $45 for that.
And some of them don't even put the right food in there, even when it is.
Oh, no. Or you get too less, or it's too chemically preserved. I think Mystical Morning did it, and they all got sick eating from one of those buckets. And we got 12 people in. Hey, folks, make sure you hit the like button for Will.
Make sure you hit that like button, you guys. I'm building my thing back up. I've been off for a while. Hey, we got us one now. We got a real good one on. We got CR in here.
Yep, and we got prep for it. Yeah, folks, sorry I'm late. It's just, I've been asked, like, I forgot how many Prepper Channel has been asking me. It's like, why are you guys calling me and asking me to be on these food videos? And they're asking me, well, you know a lot about it. Yeah, I've been doing it for 40 years.
If you guys really want to see, let me see if I can figure this out. Still, hold on. Get up here. I don't know if I remember how to do this, but I'll try a split screen. This one, I think. I was telling everybody I poked my eye with my new eyes. So my
that's not good. You got to wear the sunglasses. Will?
Yeah, my left eye is not feeling too good.
Right. Didn't they give you eye drops?
Oh, yeah, I got all kinds of stuff they gave me.
Yeah. After you poke your eye, put that. I'm using one that's replaced. Yeah. So, like I said, put that one in there.
That's not the right one.
Yeah, let's see.
Come on. I forgot how to do this.
No problem, Will. Let's see.
I've got it sitting there waiting. I just got to figure out how to pick it up. Screen sharing.
And also, a lot of people were asking me how much food to store. And I says, well, you're supposed to store minimum 1,095 pounds of food. And they look at me like, that's minimum? You don't want to know maximum. People kind of freak out when I tell them about maximum food storage for 1 year. And they look, if I just do barely minimal, how much food do I get to eat?
1,500 calories a day.
Right. It's not going to be like that, folks. It's going to be more like this kind of plate of food. I keep showing people what 1,500 calorie a day dinner plate looks like.
There, that's it. I got it.
Yep.
So, those are the sort of things that you can grow in your garden. And then you just take them and can them up yourself and make your own buckets. Not can them up like in water and stuff. You want to can them like in dry goods.
Right. We call it processing, Will. It's a lot simpler than canning. Canning's a whole different field.
Canning, it makes it a liquid. It's liquid. You don't want to. You can have it put away that way, but the dry part lasts a lot longer.
Right. On dry foods like this, folks, there's a different processing. Like Will said, canning is either with liquid or with pressure canning. I always tell people when you can dried foods, vacuum pack it. Okay. That way you don't have bugs, insects crawling around. You look at the jar like, I wonder what's crawling around in that jar. You know,
Oh, there's some steak. Look there. It's still growing.
yeah. So, like I said, nuts is a good thing. Peas and legumes. Cover the whole list right there. Dried fruits. Remember, it has to be processed before you put it away. That means drying,
Yeah,
preserving.
these right here would be. Let me get my arrow to work right here. These would all be good ones.
Right. Those are seed types like beans, legumes,
Beans,
peas.
legumes,
Right.
rice.
Yeah. Those are, and the next one over, those are all bulk or dried. And then
Those
if you
are
go
the kind of things that you can grow in your garden, and then you just.
bulk is specialized. Bulk, you need 2.5 acres. We're talking about rice, oats, wheat. That's a big. I don't think nobody has a yard that big.
But those people that have acres, they could do things like that.
Right. If you have the acreage, a
You're
minimum
living
of
out, sort of off the grid.
right. If you have the acreage like a farm,
Yep.
it'd be about minimum 1 acre to 2 acres. And if you're doing it by hand, it's going to hurt.
And you could grow 2 acres of it. Then next year rotate to another one. Next year rotate to another one.
Right.
Uh,
But you got to think if you don't have a horse or plow, you're doing it by hoe and shovel, you're going to hurt. Okay. And I don't think you're going to go out there, Will, and hoe and till an
well,
acre
no, you'd want a little tractor.
if you don't have a tractor. That's going to be really hard.
You go get Bessie.
Go get Bessie. Yeah, right.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so
Bessie's a mule.
if you have a mule, most people, if they're lucky after a disaster, they might have a lawnmower. But I don't think a lawnmower is going to till and shovel and plant acre to 2 acres a week. That's why I tell a lot of people you got to know the difference between bulk, dry, pre-pack, and freeze dry. And I have charts. Lord, I dropped a few.
Remember,
No,
you
wait,
guys,
wait.
if you guys want any questions or anything for any of what we're talking about, make sure you put them in capitals, and we'll try to get to them.
Right. Hi, Dave of Southern Ohio Prepping. Go see Dave's channel. It's pretty good too. And I'm still waiting for the sticker so I can put it.
Dave's here. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
And I
I
gotta
didn't
wait
think you
for
listened to me the other night.
the
Just
new
kidding.
sticker right here. If I ever get it.
Gunslinger, how you doing, my friend? You want
Now,
to come up on the panel, Dave? Let
you
me
want to come up?
know. I'll send you a little link.
Okay.
Growing mushrooms, I've done that, old man. You can do it. I used to do it underneath the floorboards of my house.
Right. But you got to figure out how much pounds to survive off of it. You didn't grow like 500 pounds of mushrooms, did you, Will?
No, but I grew enough to eat.
Eat and survive is two different things. Eat, you go raise about maybe 10 to 15 pounds. To survive, you need about 500.
I don't know. It don't take them long to grow.
No, not grow. 500 pounds of food and growth. That's why a lot of gardeners and homesteaders always screwed this up. I'm using the bulk system, not calorie count. Calorie count, you always mess up. And you have, let's see what they say. Blah, blah, blah. No, he has to watch his kid today. Okay, and then we're going to be talking about dry
Email
pre-pack.
me your address, Dave.
He has to watch Charles.
Email me your address. I'll get one of those off to you.
Okay. Um, well, we're going to discuss dry, pre-packed, and freeze-dried, and maybe a little bit of canning and jarred. Let's see. Yeah. Like I said, folks, nothing is normal anymore. for those years from 2021 to 2024.
You're gonna get one of my new stickers probably Monday, Al.
I hope so. I can put it on the board so I can show it to people. And then this is the ones I went over again: red wheat, corn, rice, barley, and oats. On this one, it's not oatmeal; it's non-rolled
Yeah, you
oats.
can iron fire horse. I've grown them in more than mason jars.
Yeah, you could grow them in aquarium tanks. You could grow them.
Tibor, hey, how you
Tibor.
doing?
Oats, if you're going to do it for bulk storage, it has to be non-rolled. You have to roll your own. Sorry, folks, I'm doing this fast. I have a lot of material and I have to do other stuff. I just did one. Let's see. I got to put this up real quick. Trust no one. Nothing is normal anymore, period.
That's for sure.
Okay. If I just right before I came on, well, I just put up a new. Is that Lisa? No, it is Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. I just put up a new video. Go, please check it out. It's on foraging, and basically, I tell people if you can't collect nuts, all right, you have to go back and learn the skills because. What's so hard about picking nuts and putting in a plastic bag? It's not that hard. Will?
No, it's not.
No, but I've seen a lot of people screw that one up. Or they pick up, well, what kind of nuts
Sometimes
are these?
you can just wait till they fall off the trees and go and pick them up off the ground. But people have forgotten all those ancient habits.
They forgot the skill, like I told Courtney at Wide Family Farms. People lost these skills, and I keep telling people, take a class in foraging or plant identification, because a lot of people pick up, is this edible, Uncle Al? No, that'll give you diarrhea and you go blind. Is this edible, Uncle Al? No, if you eat that, your penis will fall off. It's like, why is everybody coming up to...
You buy a book. I got a book.
Yeah,
I should have brought it, but it's just on nothing but mushrooms.
Right. And I tell a lot of people that's a good way to commit suicide. You have to take a class and you have to have a person teach you what the plant looks like, their lookalikes, because a lot of lookalikes will kill you. Like
Beech
people.
nuts.
Yes. Beech nuts.
Beech nuts is. There's no such thing as beech nuts.
Yes, there are.
Well, where do those come from?
From a tree. Beech tree.
A beech tree, a son of a beech?
No. He miswrote that. It's supposed to R in there. But like I said, you have to identify the plant correctly. Because a lot of people goof up and don't search on Google. That doesn't work either.
A lot of things you can learn just by buying the book and then just going out and walking around.
Yes, but that's like I'll buy a book and fly a plane and try to fly it off the airfield. That's the same way. I keep telling people you have to take an 8-week course because we have the world's biggest. We have people go up in the hills and we got to air fly them back, hella flight. That's $15,000 per person if you food poison yourself up there. Because if you drive back, you die. Okay? You have to be careful, folks. I am really serious. Yeah, like Dave says, it's in northern Ohio.
Manly
Know
up
your
north.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah, I
understand.
mean, if you can stomach them, then you're a man.
No, it means you want to properly identify the plant so you don't poison yourself. That's a big thing about foraging. You have to know what you're doing on it. So anyway, on dry, okay, like pre-pack. Pre-pack is like this. You could buy cake mixes or pie mixes. This is pre-packed. Okay, and you want about 250 pounds of mixed items. It could be rice that you pack yourself, or you can pre-pack crackers yourself. This is all fairly easy. You can get it at the grocery store. You have to understand when you pick up like canned goods, you have to read the serving size. Serving size is 2 ounces. There's 6 servings in this container. So, Will, if your family has to eat, you only get a slice of this. If you have like 4 people in your family, you get either 1 or 2 slices of a can of corned beef. That's not
Yeah,
much. People
that's
forget,
about what I eat now on my diet.
yeah, a slice, not the whole can, just one portion, slim slice of it. And let's see. Hi, Wayne, the ungrateful peasant. Like I said, on corn, again, with the serving size, it's 3.5 servings per container. That's 1.5 cups. That's a serving size. So a lot of people says, well, that's a lot of food. No, it isn't. That's how much food you're going to get from that one serving size. Okay? Because I have to show people on like the other live stream.
You get
That's
the
how much.
whole cup,
No, you only get this much. One serving.
one serving.
Yep.
So I half a cup.
Half a cup. So if Will was on a 1550 calorie diet, he'll lose 30 pounds in a month.
Hey Wayne, how you doing?
True, Tibor. You had to collect a lot of nuts, but at the same time, you also have to process them. That's why nuts were very valuable in the old days because it took a lot of time.
Well, oak nuts, I can't remember what they're called. You can crunch those up and make things
Acorns,
like bread and stuff, flour for the bread.
right?
Acorns.
But acorns. But the trouble with acorns is it has a very serious. This way, I talked in 2 live streams before on serious processing problems. It contains tannic acid. I'll tell you a funny story from my family's history. During World War II, we knew how to process acorns, and we told people we made flour and noodles from it. But a lot of people didn't listen to the part where you have to process them. And when they made the breads and noodles and tried to eat them, they were so bitter that they were vomiting out through their nose. You have to process them
Ugh,
because you.
you have to
But
wait till they dry out.
no, you have to wash them out, 8 time rinse to remove the tanning acid. Then you have to dry it, and then you have to roast it. Because if you don't do those 3 process, your flour and noodles will come out. You can't eat it. It's so bitter from tanning acid. You choke on it and you have stomach trouble. You see, food
I heard
processing,
that all you have to do is, after you got them, you let them dry out, and then you pulverize them, and then you let them dry again.
right? That's a wives' tale. That's not really true. That person never processed acorn in his life. I have processed them. So if you don't do those 3 steps, rinse, dry, and roast, you cannot eat these things. It's a 3 step process for acorns. And they say, well, you just dry them and grind them up with the shells and eat them. I don't think you're going to make it because food processing of wild foods or regular foods is a lost art. A lot of people forget about this. That's why a lot of people store canned foods, freeze dried, emergency food buckets.
Rinse 8 times, CR says.
Yes.
The Roman
Wayne's
army marched on walnuts and
dried fruit and
dried fruit.
was either that or
That's
eating
what Wayne
Brazilian.
says.
Yep. Their other choices was eating Brazilian, the world's first hardtack in hell.
My
It's a
grandpa
real,
made me eat an acorn once. That
was it
sucked. I
raw?
was sick.
Right. Was it
Yeah.
raw?
He gave me a
Or
little piece of it and said, eat this. I was sick. I got sick off of it.
right, because of the tanning acid. Anytime you eat any kind of nuts that's not processed properly, you will get sick off of it. Yes, usually they had whatever dry fruit is in season, and mostly it was they like walnuts, and they also liked dried olives, figs, dates, grapes. They didn't call them grapes, raisins back then. They call them
Hey,
another
Wes,
word.
how you doing?
Hey, Wes.
Yeah, wild
Yes,
food is edible, but it's not always gonna stick with
palatable.
you.
Yeah, because you have to process it right. Okay. For a lot of people, I already designed and developed 30 days of food. It's fairly easy. Anybody with rocket science, you get 10 pounds of rice. That's not hard, right? 10 pounds of rice, lentils 10 pounds, beans 10 pounds, tomato sauce, get 10 cans or jars, whatever your choice. Pasta, that's basically noodles, spaghetti, fettuccine. Get 5 boxes. That's easy. Yeah,
Well,
pintons.
way back in the day, I remember way back when I was first starting to prep and stuff. They would tell me to buy these big bags of rice and beans and stuff, and I had them just piled up in my basement. And it took me a couple of years to figure out that it'd be a lot better to just take them and bag them into smaller bags.
Right.
So
Like like I said, a lot of people confuse like if they're not a professional survivalist, not a prepper, we know what we could do with the bulk materials. A lot of people don't know it and they think, well, we can stuff it in 5 gallon buckets. They're not rat proof. That's why I always tell people get steel drums. Then you put everything in it, nothing will get through a steel drum. You worked in the Navy, Will, right? And you seen those
you know,
9 gallon and 55 gallon steel drums. I don't see too many rats chewing into those.
no, I
Yeah,
worked in supply, but I didn't work down there in that part of supply.
right. Yes, David. He
They
says,
tried to get me down there, but I worked, finagled it, and got back up.
oh, that's good. Let's see. And Wayne's right. Pine nuts takes about 3 years to develop in the pine cone.
You're gonna
Uh,
be buying bulk this year, Wayne.
I
You're
don't
gonna
think
build the
so. I
bulk and then should
Wayne
be
lives in.
making it into smaller bags.
Oh, good. Wayne's buying bulk. Okay. Um, it depends on your space and weight.
Hey,
Like,
okay.
hey,
Who
Zach.
I got? Zach or
It could be Zach or Brenda.
Brenda? Zach or Brenda? Which one? Probably Zach.
Right. Like me, I have 100 pounds of rice. Same thing as CR. But you got to
Yep.
understand, you have weight and space
Welcome,
consideration.
Zach. Good to see you. I
So,
haven't seen you for a long time.
so like Will can't. Will, you can't do a mass bulk, right?
I
Not
can't, I can't do a lot of it, but not only
right.
can I, it's not because I can't store it. I really can't lift it anymore.
Right. It's either
I don't have the body strength to do it.
Right.
When you
It's
get old, things start slipping away.
true. But it's like
So I just
weight.
started buying smaller pieces.
Right. That's why I tell people do the 30-day plan. And a lot of people seen this video, so I won't go over it. But like I said, it's weight and space. Like you, Kaylin. Kaylin lives in an apartment, and I've designed food storage systems that fit into a walk around, carry all, or a small suitcase. You can put 30 days of food in there fairly easy, and you can just tuck it away. It's cheaper than buying those food buckets.
Yeah, I got about I use a quarter of my basement for my reserves for my prep and stuff for
Right.
my food, and then I've got the other stuff, the gear and everything, all over the place. Most of that's in my garage. Now they've come out with so many more newer gadgets that make your older gadgets seem like antiques that you got to rotate them.
I like the old antiques. They're a lot sounder. Um, Wayne's correct on his assessment of beans and rice. Myself, I tell a lot of people you want to get. I'm working on this for LA Prepper. Um, you want to get spices and seasoning, okay, like salt, black pepper, cinnamon, red pepper flakes, a large bottle of ketchup because it's not really a sauce, large bottle of Tabasco sauce, Mrs. Dash, lots of bottles of garlic and onion powders, and you want like old school pepper, make your own vanilla extract. Go see her video of that.
But
Because a lot,
yeah, spices are going to be key to your preps.
right, spices and flavorings, and then flavor seasoning. Nobody ever covers this one. Flavor seasoning like paprika, curry powder. I just sent Wayne a simple curry brick, and it came out all right for him. Let's see, Mrs. Dash for the win. Papa Squirrel more food than 100 pine cones. Variety, correct. And then oregano, you could either grow it or buy it. Thyme, same thing. Cumin, you have to buy because growing cumin drives you nuts. Again, olive oil, maple syrup, miso paste. That's for Asian preppers because we know what we could do with it. Brown sugar, chili sauce. Depends what type of chili sauce you're using. Soy sauce, mustard, fish sauce. That's also another Asian thing. Olive, coconut milk. That's more Indian and Middle Eastern. Sardines, vinegar, and fresh herbs. And sardines come in different forms. So, like I said, and I do have a book list later on. I'll show everybody. Any other questions, Will?
Uh, the the vegetables that you can dry. Go over that with them. I know there's vegetables like the corn, shoot,
Yeah, you could do like the frozen freeze dried bags.
potatoes.
Potatoes, you have to be
Trying to say,
careful. Diane, the Canning Nana, does a real good series on drying potatoes. You do have to skin them, you do have to wash them, you do have to blanch them, and then you put it on the dehydrator. She has a whole video on that, and she did it about 2 days ago. On vegetables, you could dry onions. Onions is the easiest. Carrots is next. You have to know how to um, slice and dice. I do about 3 different ways on carrots. Potatoes, go see Diane, the Canning Nana's videos. She'll explain all that. Dried beans. Uh, in the old days, they used to string green beans, call them leather bitches. And it's an old Appalachian art that you could do at home. All you need is needle and thread and just string green beans, just not every between about that much space, and you hang it up to dry. It's like stringing popcorn. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, true. And also get eat
Potato
dandelions, plain
flakes.
clover.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you
yeah,
can buy
those
it by
guys in those big factories, they got the machines for it, eh, Wes?
right. And also West, they
So
also
they would
make
be able to make the flakes easier than what you could do it yourself.
true. Potato flakes is actually a starch that comes out from an extruded product. That's what happens when you don't have a girlfriend and you have a lot of times reading books. But anyway, um, uh, Wes is right on the potato flakes. They're cheap and they're easy to use. You go to Smart and Final or any restaurant supply and get a 50-pound bag and then cut it down to smaller bags in Mylar.
Although they're not going to be, uh, some of them are going to have additives in them.
Yeah. Let's
If
see,
you look on
scallops.
the bags or the boxes,
Right. If
they're
it's
not all just potatoes.
right. Um, with the mixes or small bags or pre-pack, like let's see what Wayne say, like potato flakes and scallops. That lasts about 2 years, Wayne. If you get the little bag, if you get the big 50-pound bags, like Wes was talking about, it'll last about 5 to 10 years if properly stored.
I was going to say, you'd have to make sure they're sealed.
Yeah. And then, oh, Wayne says he buys the 1 gallon cartons of flakes and scallops. Yeah, that lasts about 2 years. That because they were designed for restaurant use. Put that one back over there. Okay. I'll be 1 second. I got to move this stuff. I got too much stuff. I got all this food on my table.
You got food up there? We should be collecting up on all of our good dry goods and stuff anyway, you guys. Uh, watch all the news stations. They're saying that the what they said, I can't remember what they called them. I laughed when they said it. Something about terrorists from within or something like that. I can't remember. I
That's all right.
laughed.
We'll double check and find out. Again, on these books, I recommend if you get this. I keep telling this in my videos to read books. Don't look on Google. Pick up a book and read it. Um, 12-hour preparedness. It's like it's a good thing. How would you live if society changed instantly? Okay, you can't go to a grocery store, you can't go to McDonald's. How are you going to survive? And you can't go to 7-Eleven. This is why I always push on the food storage. This one I highly recommend. I always push this book for everybody because it covers everything, including water and MREs. Blah. Oh, on trouble, folks, if you buy a bunch of Mountain House or MREs, you only could eat it twice a day safely or once a day because a lot of people don't understand. Well, just survive on Mountain House, and I'll say you probably be dead in 6 weeks because it's supposed to be a balance of food. This is why I tell people look at this one. Sorry, Will.
Good one,
Uh,
Tibor. You're right. Keep your food alive. It won't spoil.
let's see. Yep, that's a good price. Rice is cheap. Might as well get the endurable. Yeah, jasmine rice is great, especially when you mix it with coconut milk. Make coconut rice. That's wonderful. And if you add a little cinnamon and sugar to it, and some dairy product to it, it turns out to be cream of rice. So, and like I said, you got to learn how to cook, folks. Where's the cooking books? Okay. and you got to learn how to cook. And seriously, if it's not all opening cans and mixing powders and stuff, you got to understand basic cooking. So I keep pushing cooking books all the time. And let me show you what bit of history, because I do history like Wayne does.
Guys that don't cook, what if your chef gets knocked off in the fray and you have to do it all yourself? Make
Yeah,
sure you're learning how to cook.
that's a big thing. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, because me and Wayne buy the same kind of rice. Now, history, we had this. This is from the Marines history book. You had the bar ration, which nobody liked. That was the horrible um, D ration bar. Then we had the K rations. There was a little pocket sized meals. And then we had the 10 in ones, which was a bunch of cans. Now, 10 in ones, we got that from the British. The K ration and the D ration, we developed ourselves. And if you do a calorie count diet, that really screwed up a lot of people.
Yeah, I saw that animal you had hanging up the other day, Wes.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you cook it
That
with all
wasn't
that hair?
that wasn't West. That was Rob Painless. He was skinning a deer
Oh
and
yeah, that
process.
was rough.
Yeah,
Wes was probably there though.
yeah. Old man, hardtack and spam the old way. I don't have any more teeth eating all of my life. Hardtack.
Pemmican. Who's tried pemmican?
I have. And it's like,
Yeah,
but
tastes like crap.
nah, it's not that bad. It's a fatty, meaty bar. Like I said, you got to get used to it. And like Wes says, some of this stuff's not palatable.
That's going way back. That pemmican.
Yeah,
That stuff will last 100 years.
true. Let's see. First kill animal, then throw it on fire, and then me know how to cook. Me hunter. LOL. Yeah, right. A lot of starving hunters. Like I said, another good book I tell people to read on food is a survivalist or a prepper. I'm a survivalist. I'm not a prepper because you have to understand cooking is.
Or then you wash it off.
Let's see. Yes, Dave's right. You can cook it into a soup or stew or a mush. Not eaten straight. That I have to disagree because sometimes in emergency situation, the fur trappers used to eat it. They didn't like it, but they ate it straight if necessary. Let's see.
Any
Yeah,
other
true.
questions you got?
Yeah. Also, I do recommend if you're a Mormon, read Barbara Salisbury's book, like Just Add Water. This is for dehydration. There's a lot of books out there you have to read. Do not use Google. That's I always tell people. Take a class, read books. Do not use if it's a serious subject you want hands-on experience with a professional who knows what they're doing. And even then, they have a big chance of goofing it up. I know a couple of mushroom hunters, professional, poison themselves once a year.
Well, it's pretty easy. If a mushroom is poisonous, you can take the thing and actually pull it apart in the membrane. And if it's like a gel or jelly, that thing's pretty poisonous.
Yeah,
You'd be killing yourself if you ate it.
that's true. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, true. Once you learn how to pick mushrooms, you want to keep it fairly secret because in certain parts of the areas, 90% of the mushrooms are toxic, 10% are edible, and most people can't tell between the two. And I keep telling you, if a bird eat it and then you eat it, the bird's going to survive, you die. So don't listen
Pretty
to old
much.
white. Which one?
Guild shrooms. They all have those little gills on them from the head that sits on there. Or
Right, but
that's my
he was. I know what type of species of mushroom he's talking about. Yeah, you have to be really careful about those. Yeah, I understand what talking about. Let's see. Uncle Al, died Will Friend. Well, can you put the titles in the description box? You might have to ask Will or just go see my old videos because I did all these books I've been showing in my videos for years and years and years, and also on live streams for years and years. But I will try to do something like that. And you can find all these books on Amazon.
You think that, Zach, you think that there's more non poisonous mushrooms than poisonous? I thought it was the other way around, in my opinion.
Well, Zach, your area there's more edible mushrooms. My area there's more
Might be
poisonous
where you
mushrooms.
live.
Right.
It might be where you live, but I know when I used to grow them and be around them, everything out in Washington, there are more poisonous ones than there were non poisonous ones.
Right.
So it might
Uh,
be just area.
it's mainly area, Will, because I live in a desert climate. You seen too many mushrooms in the desert in the northeast, northwest? Yes, there's plenty.
Are superb in my book, Jim.
Let's see. Yeah, morals and chicken in the wood. That's more Will's area. My area, like, what's a moral? What's chicken of the woods? I live in the desert, folks. You look out there. Is that mushroom edible to eat? And you see little dead bones around it. I don't think so.
Beefsteak ones are good. Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
But that's also where,
You see it from listening to all you guys talk about different ones. You guys all know what they are in your area.
right,
So it probably just depends on where you live as to where the bad ones and the good ones are.
right. But like I said, folks, be careful and know your terrain and know what you're gathering because a lot of people don't, and it's a very lost art and it's a dangerous one too. That's why I keep telling people don't trust a book, don't trust Google. Take a class, 8 weeks, go so you could tell the lookalikes and the real thing. Because a lot of lookalikes will kill you faster than poisonous plants. Yeah, Thak is right. Worldwide, 40% is inedible, 35% edible, and then 25% poisonous. And we're almost top of the hour. Will you have anything to close out with?
Anybody got any questions? Remember Monday we're gonna be talking about Frankenfood, so that's gonna be another good one too.
True,
Also, we'll
true.
be talking about current events.
Yeah. Okay. And like I said, folks, be careful when you do food storage. Make sure you buy foods that you eat, okay, and that you could easily process or cook. Um, if it's your first time, have somebody go with you to explain what's going on. And do not do like Pepper Princess. It smells like marshmallows and put the weird plant in her mouth. Never do that.
Prepper Princess.
Yeah.
I
She
thought she
did
was
that.
gone.
No, she moved to Arizona. But like I said, folks, you have to be very, very careful when you're doing foraging and hunting and fishing. I did a whole video on that, and gardening and homesteading. You have to understand and you have to figure out your poundage and weight because you have to go through 2 growing seasons. And a lot of people still don't get that.
Your beans. I'm still in the belief that if you're gonna do dry goods such as beans and uh,
Rice,
gosh, I'm sure that must be time to go. uh,
rice.
the beans and whatnot, the brown beans, the white beans, string beans, whatever. Do that, and you have the space out in the country, so you're living outside the urban city and have your own farm or homestead. Plan on doing your beans and dry goods like that in a garden or something. You can rotate them every year so that you're getting all the ones you want, and that way you can put them up. You can dry them out there. You'd probably be able to dry some of those out. What you say, just out in the sun, right, Al?
Right. Yeah. It's not a problem drying out. I got to tell people
Harvest them,
that, yeah,
sit
that's
out in the sun to dry out,
right. You put them on trays and that's not a problem. Uh,
and then you can put those up all by yourself. That way, you're not paying out the nose for them. You're learning something about what you're capable of.
yeah. Let me go back on Old Man. He had a question on Book of the Lost Ways. It's a ripoff. Do not get that book. Lost Ways is they print high points. They do not give you a thorough explanation, and then you're left on your own. I do not trust that book.
Yeah, on the dry goods, anything you can do yourself, I believe, is better than going and getting them out of the store.
Right.
But if you don't have a choice, just go get them. And if you don't know what to do with them, then contact Al or myself or Wayne, somebody that has been dealing with it and pretty much knows what to do. We'll be glad to help you guys out.
Right. And I tell a lot of gardeners and homesteaders do an acre, do 2 acres by hand. Okay. No machinery, no Bessie, no cow, you. And you see how hard it is to do it. And if you're doing grains, it's going to be a lot tougher. That's why everybody grew corn.
What about milk? Can you dry that out yourself?
No, because I had people try to can it, dry it, freeze dry it. That was a big disaster. I keep telling people you have to watch out for the acidity of fats and oil. Milk is 40% fat. So if you're trying to make,
Yeah.
you have to skim it. You don't have the machines to do it. And then you try to dehydrate it. You still don't have the machines to do it because you have to reach for an hour, 145 degrees to dehydrate the inside of the liquid so it become a thick mass, and then you throw it to an air processor, which blows the curds and the milk molecules or solids into the air and falls down as milk powder.
What if you boiled it until it was gone and all it was left is the
Uh, the
flakes and
curd?
stuff on the
No,
pan?
it's not flakes, it's curd. And the house will stink up, your wife will kill you, and you have ruined a pot. You can't, there's no way at home you can process into powder milk. No way. Has to be commercial driven.
Uh,
You can't boil it, you can't freeze it. I've seen people freeze and can milk, and it's like, you're playing with It's okay. Freezing, you're doing freezing milk solids, which doesn't work. Canning it, you're taking a risk of botulism, food poisoning, a few other things, toxicity of fats and oil. It goes down the line, and that's one of the foods I don't recommend for people to do. But there, people still do it, and also they're seeing people die from food poisoning too. Let's see.
It was one to think about.
Yeah, don't forget to have a grinder prep for it. You need a grinder for both. See Rob Painless video when he grinds up rice and beans and wheat and corn. You have to have some means of processing.
You make flour.
Yeah, flour is easy. What you call powdered milk and powdered eggs. That's a whole different. It's like, oh Lord. It's like it gets ridiculous at times on those two. And people try, I can make freeze dried eggs. And I'm in the hospital blowing out chunks. Yeah. Again, with avocados, eggs, and shrimp, those are the top three next to milk. You cannot freeze dry. It's going to be bad, and you're going to find out when you digest it. Because I had one guy made shrimp campi, and he put it through the freeze dryer. I just rehydrated it with hot water. 2 days later, he's in the hospital from botulism because he didn't freeze dry it right. It's shrimp. Most shellfish do not freeze dry.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with avocado. That's where you get avocado oil. And some people do it, and I tell them wait 2 months and then eat it and see what happens. No, you need the bucket for the other end too. Oh, Gil's here. Hey, Gil. And don't forget, folks, tomorrow night, I forgot what time, Gil, sorry. I've been doing this all day. Tomorrow evening, Gil has on Camp Family Compound stream is food distribution disruptions. So please check it out. It's your food system. It's very fragile. You want to see that live stream because a lot of people don't know is once their trucks are gone, you don't get food. Oh, hi,
Hey,
Keith.
you got an empty chair for tomorrow night? Be glad to come with you. Hey, Keith. Good to see you.
And so far, we don't have any interruptions. But like I said, for Thak, you can find these books.
Get over. Thanks, Wes.
Yeah. Okay, Wes. Catch you later. You can find these books on Amazon.
Remember, try to put all your dried goods together. Keep working it as you go. Maybe start out in bulk, like we talked about before. Buy bigger bags and break them down.
Right.
Or just go ahead and buy them in smaller bags and build them up.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to be ahead.
Right. You're going to be ahead of the curve. So it doesn't take that much. Take your time, pace yourself, stay on budget.
Just because Joe Blow up the street has 500 bags and you've got one that you're behind because you're not. You have plenty of time.
Right. It's right now, even in SHTF, we're a lot better than most other countries. China is the worst. That's why they're coming over here in economic warfare on us because they are starving. That's why they have all these fishing fleets. That's why they're buying up everything. You feed 3 billion people, see how you react.
You want me in there or not? Gil, let me know. Be glad to get back in. By the way, you guys, remember if you want one of my new stickers, my physical address is in my about section. Send me a envelope with a stamp on it, and I will get one back to you. I have some. I have some magnets as well, so you might get surprised. Instead of getting a sticker, I might just flip you a magnet instead.
Yeah. Yeah, we did
All
cover
right,
that, Gil.
Gil. Appreciate it.
Yeah, on dry goods, same as water. Like I tell people, you have 10 gallons of water. Can you transport it in back of your car or truck or whatever? And I see a lot of people holding up these little 1 gallon uh, bottles. I'm looking at them. No, you have to transport 10 gallons of water and you have to transport your dry goods. And they look at me like, they're in bags and buckets, Uncle Hans. I said, where's the one in the carryall? The little suitcase that I showed people over and over again. And they said, what suitcase? Or what travel bucket? Or what are you talking about? It's like, oh, Lord.
How about some instant water with a little bag full of powder? All you gotta do is add water to make it work.
Yeah, right. uh,
All right. Any other questions, comments, anything? Spit it out.
yep. And like I said, folks, if you're doing like fresh and frozen, right now it's the winter time. Try to get ahead and get a freezer. If you don't get a freezer now, you won't get one in the summer. Because people, you seen Ontario Prepper when he's looking around for a freezer.
Gil. All right, you guys, we're gonna close her up.
All right, catch you later, folks.
Bye, Al.
Yeah, let's see button.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Don't forget on Monday we're gonna be having some current events and talk about Franken food. Make sure you come to that one. That's gonna be a good one. Starts at 11:30, right after Corsair Trainer. So I'll see you there. Okay. Ta ta.